All right. Hi, everybody. This is Miss Scripa. I've had a couple people ask me how I make the videos that I use to do direct instructions for students. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that today. And I'll show you guys how to capture your face and then also doing what I primarily do, which is screen capture, let me just pull that up for one moment. All right, so when I do screen capture, I mostly use this tool called OBS Studio, and I did have to download it. So in order to download it, it's free, and it's been working great for me. It's OBS Studio download. You just click download OBS. It was super straightforward, and once I downloaded it, it saved on my desktop. But if yours doesn't save on your desktop, you can also just search OBS Studio and it'll come up. It has a lot more tools than you might need, but I find that it's very easy to just do the basics on it. And I apologize when I screencast the actual software, it looks a little crazy, so I apologize. Just look at this outer part here. But all I really did was put in what I want to use. So I have my display capture, which is just showing what's on your screen. If you want to just take a video of yourself, like how I did at the beginning, that's video capture. And obviously it's using my voice. I'm not using any microphones or anything fancy like that. I'm just using what my laptop already has. If these three options do not come up when you open up OBS for the first time, you might need to hit this little plus button. There's a lot of different options. A lot of times this is used by people who play video games, which is how I found out about it, because my husband does a lot of that. But all I did was pick what I wanted. So I wanted the display capture, so I clicked it and I added it. I wanted a couple of other things. I wanted just the regular video, but you can do all sorts of other things. So if you want to play sounds and have it show the sounds in your video, you can do that. I haven't played around too much with the other things, but the only two things that you're really going to need to add are the display capture and the video capture. So video capture is for showing your face. Display capture is for showing what's on your screen. And audio input should already be up there, but if it's not, that's just saying it's going to listen to you on the microphone and do what you're saying. All right, so that's all I really needed to add. Once I do that, all I did was hit, right now it says stop recording, but normally it would say start. I just hit started and that was it. And usually the moment I hit start on a video, I then close this out. Because as you can tell, this screen right here gets a little unwieldy and it's not really what you want to show your students. So if you're doing display capture, once you hit start, it's showing everything on your screen. So I would close this out and then I would go to whatever I might need to do. I might go to my class website. I've shown on my computer how to get my students to click there. And one other thing that I oftentimes do, and let me show you guys, is a lot of times when I'm doing this, at least as a biology teacher, is I use paint. My reason for that is I'm doing ecology with my kids right now. And so it's really easy for me to say, put in a food web and then label it. So I've actually done this with my kids before, where I've taken a food web. You can put this into Paint. You do not need to download Paint. It should already be on your computer. But I'm able to download Paint. This is just a random one that I came up with. Obviously, I'd pick a better diagram in the future, but I find this really helpful because then you can start labeling things. Like I could start labeling all the primary consumers on here with my mouse or whatever it might be. So I do use that quite a bit with my students just so that they can kind of follow as I'm writing on something while they're listening to me talk. And the last thing I use it for that I think would not only be helpful for science teachers, but also English and history is you could just open a Word document and annotate. So you could open a PDF of whatever you want or a Word document of whatever you want. And you could go through and highlight important ideas with them and all sorts of things like that. So anything that's on your screen that will capture. And at the very end, when you're done, all you have to do is click back here on this little wheel and hit stop recording. There are ways with this software to do a lot of different editing. You can mix your audio, you can do all sorts of crazy things. Honestly, I don't. And I just kind of deal with this little screen at the beginning being kind of in the way. But when you're done, you just hit stop recording, and that's it. It's done. Once you hit stop recording, on my computer at least, it just shows up as a file in my videos. So here's all of the videos that I've already made. And you have a couple of options. One would be you could send these videos in an email just as an attachment. But what I do is I actually made a YouTube channel. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And I have my YouTube channel linked to my Google account. But if you go to Google, there should be a thing up here that says create, and I upload a video. So that should automatically come up. If it doesn't, it might ask you to make an account before that little create button does come up. And of course there's updates. But when you hit upload a video, this is what comes up. And then all that I do is I select the file that I just made. So I can select my videos. And I'm not going to actually do this because I've already done it. But I can, well, I'll show you guys. So I have one where I made a graph with my students. So I just select that video and I upload it. And it's going to take a moment. I can change the title. Eventually you can pick the picture of what you would like your video to come up as. And finally, the thing that I do is I do say that it's made for kids. If you don't, sometimes you get some weird ads that maybe I don't want 14-year-olds seeing. So I do always click that it's made for kids. And once it's done uploading, this will be your link to share your video with other students. So a lot of times that's what I do is I just put the link up on my website and in their remind messages. And I found that's been really, really helpful. And obviously I'm not going to wait for the 12 minutes that this is going to take. But it's pretty straightforward. That's all you have to do. You just hit next when it's done. When it's done on this bar at the bottom, you just hit next, and then that's it. You just have the link now on your channel. Once you hit next, it sometimes will give you an option, or sorry, will always give you an option if you want this to be a public video or not. So there are certain videos where I will only let people watch it if they have the link. So for example, my video, let me see if I can close out. So here's all my videos. For example, my quarter 4 instructions, I have that set up as being an unlisted video. And what that means is that unless you have the link, you can't see it. So you could not go on YouTube and search Miss Scripa explains quarter 4. It would not come up. But if you have the link, you can watch it. And the main reason for that I did this on this video and not these other ones that are public is because I do give some information like joining my Remind group and giving students my email that I don't necessarily want people outside of know about. So just realize that that is an option if you are talking about students getting a hold of you and things like that. You can unlist that video so that only the people with the link will see it. Not that I really think the general public of YouTube will really want to watch my video if they're not in my class, but it does just give you some extra security of not having random strangers join your Remind group or sending you emails. And that's about it. It does take a little while to upload depending on your internet. My internet is kind of crummy at home, so it does get a little bit slow. The only other thing I can think of showing you guys, and again, all you're doing is clicking if you want a video of you or a video of your screen, and you're hitting start. That's all you have to do to make a video. When you're done, you do have to come back to the screen and hit stop recording. And then after that, it's just a matter of going to YouTube, hitting that create button, and selecting which file you want to put onto YouTube. The only thing I will say is it is a little tricky to switch back and forth between showing your screen and your face. So right now I have it on the screen, and I know that because display capture is this very top one. If I want to go back to showing my face, I take this video capture and I put it back on the top, and now you see me again. So whichever one is at the top of that list is what it's going to be showing. So I can toggle it back now. Now that my display capture is the first one listed, that's what it's showing. If I want to go back to showing my face, I just move this one up, and that's it. All right. I am more than happy to help anybody if you guys need help making videos. I am not a tech expert. As I said, I don't even edit these videos. I just make them and I upload them. And the students are pretty forgiving about that. But if you have any questions while you're trying to make a YouTube video to help your students, please let me know. My Springfield email is Scripa, S-C-R-I-P-A. It's Scripa A, so Scripa A at springfieldpublicschools.com. Feel free to send me an email or a message. I'm more than happy to help to the best of my ability. But I hope that this is a useful tool for you guys to make videos for your students. So reach out if you need any help, but I hope that this was straightforward enough, and let me know if you need anything else. Thank you.